See, some people have the view of, cars, and highways, and streets. We have sailboats going by our backyard.
Ladies and gentlemen, foodies across Southwest Florida, I am Rafael Feliciano. We are back with another restaurant week presentation, preview, tasting, but this time we are at the beautiful Edgewater Beach Hotel at Coast Restaurant. We have Mackenzie. Everyone knows Mackenzie, so I'm going to give her a big shout out. She's holding the camera. She's being an awesome food and beverage director today. She's holding the camera. She's going to show you what's behind us, which is one of the best, I'm going to say the best view of the ocean from a restaurant here in Southwest Florida in Naples, and we're celebrating Restaurant Week. We are 9 days away of a 14-day event, 3-course menus starting at $26 and $36, and these are some of the items that are on the Restaurant Week menu for Coast at Edgewater Beach Hotel, but all the restaurants are doing it. The menus start at $26 and $36. They're 3 courses, and the best thing about it is $1 from every meal sold benefits our Sizzle Southwest Florida Food and Beverage Scholarship. Mackenzie's smiling because she actually graduated from that program there at FGCU, and we're doing it because that's where we can help. That's how we can put our hand in and help and give back to the restaurants. A lot of these restaurants, and we're gonna talk with Chef right here, but actually, I'm gonna introduce you right now, Chef. We're gonna lead into this question.
Right on.
How are you?
I'm doing very well, thanks.
Well, tell us about yourself.
Well, my name is Chris Jubenville. I am originally from the Northeast, Manchester, New Hampshire, stand up, and graduated from Johnson Wales University. Moved to Miami right after graduation, worked for some great chefs, worked at some amazing hotels over there, came over here back in '06, worked at the Hyatt for a little while, and then opened my own place in North Naples called Trail Cafe and Grill, which is still there. We don't own it anymore, but it's still just as phenomenal as it was when we owned it. Ended up going to St. Matthew's House and spending 5 years taking care of the homeless and the needy here in Southwest Florida. It's a real blessing to be a part of that organization, and it was an amazing time. But it was time to get back into the hotel, tourism, fine dining feel, and so
you really can't. I mean, St. Matthew's House, great organization. We've worked with them in the past.
Absolutely,
but they really can't offer this view.
No. I'll tell you what. When I look out my dining room and I see the Gulf and I see sunsets every night. I've lived in Southwest Florida now for 12 years, and I've seen more sunsets working here than I have the other, the rest of the time I've been living in Florida.
I understand.
So it's pretty wild, but man, it's very cool, and the clientele here is very friendly. They're not snooty. Like you go to some places and it's very hoity-toity. Here, man, it's just chilling at the beach, and it's being part of a tribe, so to speak. Where, like, do you know about Edgewater? No, well, come with me. Let's go down and we'll check it out. So it's a very cool vibe that we got going here at the hotel, and it's unlike anything I've ever worked at before. So I'm really digging it.
I think it's awesome, and we love St. Matthew's House. Fantastic organization, doing great stuff in town. But that's probably given you a great view of the community from both the high end and also the other things that people don't see. My question that really transitioned to introducing you was, since you've been here 12 years and you're in the restaurant business, you've seen the restaurant industry grow, and you've seen it from what it was maybe 10 years ago to where it's at right now, where some people say we have too many restaurants. So why is it so hard to find good help in the restaurant, back house, front house? Because that's really what our scholarship revolved around.
Yeah, well, it's the saturation of the market. Like you said, there's 100 restaurants opening every day. There's 50 of them failing, which means that 50 of them stay open. You got to have those 6-7 guys or girls in the back of the house, and you got to have those people up front taking care of the guests. So you're talking about 15 to 20 people every night, and not everybody's in food service, not everybody's in hospitality. And then you got food trucks. You got people open up pop-ups. So there's catering companies all over this town. So it's not just brick and mortar restaurants. It's all food service, all the other.
Accessible.
That's exactly it. And food is very, I don't want to say trendy, because food always has been and it always will be. We're always going to need to eat.
Yeah.
And everybody's going to try and find a way to do it better than the guy before. 20 years ago we were talking about Emerald, and now we're talking about guys like, Wiley Dufresne and all those cats.
Oh, yeah.
So it's always
David Chang just had a sneaker deal.
I mean,
he has a sneaker deal.
Right. You got guys like Chris Cosentino who have shoe deals, like you said, and so the celebrity chef is now becoming a goal. It's the brass ring for people in this business, and so you have all these people going, well, you know, my mom was an accountant, my dad was a cop. I want to be famous. Let me be a chef because I like to cook, and you know, because you can slap a good grilled cheese and tomato with bacon together. Like, okay, I know how to do that well, and I enjoy doing that. Maybe this is something I need to pursue. So until we get more people like that with the passion and the drive, we're gonna have
more chefs.
That's exactly it. I feel like there's this I don't want to say culture of cookie cutterism, but
that's a real thing.
It's absolutely a real thing. People are just getting in and then getting out and then getting in and getting out. People need to dedicate. People need to hone their craft. It's like being a silversmith, or like being a good painter, or like being a musician, or being a writer, or being a poet. This is art.
Yeah.
And if
100%.
this is art, then you have to work on your craft. Absolutely. And so when you see on the plate,
time in.
Exactly.
You gotta really put the time in. And
absolutely.
It goes for any industry. Marketing, real estate, food. People got to put the time in, and I think that is a huge misconception. I think I didn't even know this myself, that, you know, when people are graduating culinary school, I mean, they're going to a restaurant and they're at the bottom of the food chain. It is not, oh, I'm an executive chef.
Exactly.
I have a degree.
You know, it's funny.
My
My folks and I like to joke around about it. I graduated from Johnson & Wales up in Providence, Rhode Island. Great school. Yeah. One of the heavy hitters in the culinary arts game. When you go in there as a bright-eyed, bushy-tailed high school junior for a tour, and they go, yeah, once you get out of here, you know, you'll be executive chef promotable. You'll be able to walk into your own restaurant. Yeah, lie. There's so much.
Such a lie.
There is so much that I learned just from grinding it out in the kitchens in Miami and the kitchens here in Naples that you don't learn in a classroom. You don't learn in a lab or in a practical lab setting with other people. Like, I mean, you know, what do you do when the guy who has been on the line for 20 years in that restaurant wants to initiate the new guy, walks by with a bottle of fish sauce and squeezes it on your back at 6:30 at night, and you still got 4 or 5 hours you have to cook? How do you deal with that politic? And so it's more than just cooking. It's interpersonal relationships, it's time management, it's stress mitigation. So it's not just here's a saute pan, here's a chicken breast, do your thing. It's how am I going to deal with the guy next to me? How am I going to set my station up such that not only am I going to be prepped and have all my mise en place ready in time, but I'm also going to be able to execute service efficiently so that my guests are waiting as little as possible.
And one thing that a lot of the chefs don't even know when they first come down here is how do you deal from going in the summer where it's this many covers a night to season where it's game time, and that's a whole nother pace. And one of our friends, Brian Rowland, Crave Culinary.
Yeah, I know Brian real well.
We're friends with Brian, and one time we talked with him, and one of the things he was saying is, you know, there's a whole different of it. Cooking your food and then cooking it under pressure in time, it's a whole nother ball game.
So if you get a Blue Apron at home, you know, I get it. Like, you got all this time and you're making, you know, buffalo chicken meatballs. That's cool.
Which is delicious.
Which is delicious. I mean, Blue Apron and all those home, like, I use them at home and I love doing it because it's no think cooking. But here on the line, you're walking around other people. You literally have 20 people.
Than at home.
For sure. Yeah. For sure. You're talking about premium ingredients. You're talking about Joyce Farms chicken. So you're talking upwards of $6-7, you know, a breast our cost, you know, and that's before we even season it. That's just walking in the door. Education is so necessary. Education is so critically necessary in our hospitality and food service environment today that it's fine to come through the school of hard knocks, but just to even get that little bit of time under your belt, for sure.
And that's why if you've been tuning in or if you've been watching us, Sizzle Southwest Florida, we have a FGCU Food and Beverage Scholarship, and it's really for the local high school kids that are graduating from a local high school, going to FGCU in the Resort and Hospitality Management Program, looking for a future here in the hospitality realm. And we're doing so by $1 from every meal during restaurant week. $1 from every meal sold is going to the scholarship. Last spring, we had 70-plus restaurants, and we raised $20,000. This winter, we're hoping to... I mean, it would be ideal. We would love to double it, but at least reach that $20,000 or a little bit more. And we can, at $40,000, we're putting one kid through the program. I mean, right through the program, getting right their foot through the door to get into the working world. So, Chef.
Yes.
Okay, it's restaurant week. It's November 29th. Okay, we come through. It's a Thursday. We make a reservation. I'm sitting right there, because that's right in front of the beach.
Yeah, I mean,
that's looking at the sunset.
Yeah, what time are you sitting?
Yeah. Like 6.
Okay.
6.
All right.
It's 6 o'clock, Thursday, November 29th.
Yeah.
Mackenzie said the sun's down 6 o'clock. All right, 5:30.
5:30 is your best bet.
5:30. And you guys are the only part of restaurant with a sunset view. So that is very important.
Come on down.
So we're going to come here 5:30. We're going to get the sunset, and we're going to sit down. We're going to go through your menu. Where do we start?
Well, I would start right at the scallop BLT.
Scallop BLT.
Yep,
So this is your amuse?
The amuse-bouche, yeah. And what this is this is a, hold on, 2-ounce Gulf scallop. And we've seared it and sliced it in half. It's got some Arcadian greens on there. We've got a prosciutto crisp, and then there is a sun-dried tomato aioli. There you go. See? Coming out. Yeah. So
Mackenzie,
there's your.
Did you see that, Mackenzie?
I did see that.
Did you miss that?
There's your B. There's your L. There's your T. A little bit of herb oil. And man, that is one jamming mouthful right there. It's a 2-biter. We don't want to fill anybody up before they get their appetizers or their entrees. So we want to make sure, but we want to set that palate on fire, man. We want to get them ready for what's coming, because it's a walk. The flavor is the.
I like it. What's the spiciness? There's a spice there.
Yeah, it's just a little bit of black pepper in the aioli. It's not. It's spiciness.
I don't know. I had a kick to it.
All right.
I'm not going to argue with it. I mean, it was delicious. And so, with your restaurant, you have a 3-course menu. Starts at $36, and it includes an amuse-bouche. Beautiful.
Oh no, the amuse-bouche is extra.
The amuse-bouche is extra.
The amuse-bouche is an upgrade.
So I'm looking at Mackenzie for validation.
Took me a second. I'm like,
Okay.
wait a minute, no. Yeah.
So this is the amuse-bouche course.
Yep.
Very delicious. Not going to get you too full.
Nope.
What else do you have?
We have the. This is the. This is the red and yellow beet stack with a goat cheese crouton on top of it. So it starts with, again, more of that Arcadian greens. You got oven roasted gold and red beets, and then a little bit of shaved fennel. We drizzle on a little blood orange vinaigrette, and then you've got this goat cheese crouton on top, which, when it's a little bit warmer, should ooze down and coat the. As you cut it open, it should ooze. It's a little chilled right now. But,
and then this is here. You have some beets.
yeah, little shaved fennel, little beets.
That looks so good.
Right?
That looks so good. How many of these dishes are new to your menu?
All but the quinoa cakes.
Wow, so these are all new items.
No, these are all new items except for the quinoa cakes. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Now, from Restaurant Week, now you said this is your second Restaurant Week with Coast? The second Restaurant Week that you were in the kitchen?
Yes, this is my second Restaurant Week.
As a chef, what excites you most about Restaurant Week?
The ability to expose our cuisine to new people. So a lot of times people get intimidated by coming to a place like this and thinking, oh, well, the price structure and you're paying for quality ingredients. We're a premium restaurant.
Yeah, absolutely.
This
premium restaurant with a premium view.
That's it. And so you're not paying for. It's not a TGI Fridays, man. This is real deal, haute cuisine. Beautiful view, amazing drinks and cocktails that we got here. This is the real deal. This is great stuff. But a lot of people get intimidated by that. Oh, I don't feel like spending $150, $200 for an evening with my wife or my boyfriend or my whoever. I mean,
Mackenzie says if your wife doesn't want to take you to Edgewater Beach Hotel, you file for divorce. So I don't know. That's what I heard. That's what I heard.
that might be a little rough.
But no, so it's a good opportunity to showcase your food.
Exactly. It's a great opportunity to show them what we do here and how we do it. It's a great opportunity to roll out new dishes and see what people like and what people don't like before they hit the menu permanent. And
it's awesome to
at
hear.
$36. I mean,
that's awesome because if as a foodie, someone that loves food, if I get to go to a restaurant and taste something that's not on the menu, and if it works well, then it becomes on the menu, and you can be part of that process.
That's it.
I mean, that's awesome.
That's it. That's what I love it in that I get to kind of roll this stuff out and kind of flex my culinary muscles a little bit, and then I can come out to the dining room. Hey, what'd you think of that IPA glaze on that chicken breast? What'd you think of that bourbon glaze on that duck breast?
Yeah.
And if it's like, well, it was this or it was that, we can play with it a little bit more. Yeah. But if somebody goes, that's killer, man. That's the best sauce I've had. That's it, man. That's a winner.
Best sauce I've ever had. I go to this dish right now.
The Woodford Reserve.
Chef,
okay,
go to this dish right now.
So we're going right here. So this is our
put it this way so they can
vanilla bourbon duck breast.
Say it again.
Vanilla bourbon duck breast.
Oh my God! Say it one more time.
Vanilla bourbon.
I'm not even using a fork.
Duck breast. Just get in there with your hands, bro. It's all good. So what we're serving this with is asparagus and sweet potato hash that we make here in house. And it's obviously crispy seared.
No, talk about the most important item on this dish.
The sauce. Got it.
And if you have goat cheese left in the beet salad.
Oh my gosh. Okay. This sauce. So everyone knows, if you follow me, if we're friends, if you don't, bourbon's my thing. Love bourbon. Dog named Bourbon. And this is a bourbon Woodford Reserve.
Woodford Reserve bourbon glaze.
I already had it. I will put this on anything. Absolutely anything.
I mean, that is killer. I mean, I'm not sitting here patting myself on the back, but with the goat cheese, the goat cheese is killer. Yeah, so a lot of times when people do duck breast, they want to do sweet sauces and stuff like that, and they put berries and brandy. I love bourbon. I love vanilla, and we let it sit in vanilla beans.
Dude, that's so
pink
good.
Peppercorns, little shallot, little garlic, a little oil. Let it kind of sit and marinate in that. Crispy sear it, slice it out, and then we have the bourbon sauce, which is brown sugar, a little bit of shallot, Woodford Reserve bourbon whiskey.
Absolutely delicious.
Let it come on down.
It's a perfect sweet. I just dipped it. Chef also just dipped it with the goat cheese. It is absolutely one of a kind, and it's nice because it has enough bourbon that you actually go, oh, that's bourbon.
Right.
There's a lot of times
right,
it's like, oh, bourbon
but it's
flavor.
not overpowering. Like you're not gonna. It's not like you're taking a shot on a duck breast. You know what I mean?
No, but I'll
like,
take a shot of that.
I mean, I bet you would. I imagine you would. But yeah, I just love. I love the way it's visually appealing. It gives a nice sheen to the plate. I love the way that it pairs up with the sweet potatoes. So it's not overly sweet. Like you said, it's just sweet enough. It's just sweet enough. It's just savory.
And with the duck, has a little bit of gaminess to it.
Absolutely.
So that Woodford, that bourbon's perfect.
Right.
I don't have to taste anything else on this menu. That is 100% what I'm getting.
It's the apex.
And I'm going to start off with that so I can dip that into that.
Right on.
And that's that.
Okay.
If you've been tuning in, guys, ladies and gentlemen, foodies all across Southwest Florida, we are celebrating Restaurant Week. It's only 9 days away. And it is 55 of the best restaurants putting together 3-course menus for $26 and $36. We want to give a special shout out to our sponsor, Greg Norman at Miramar Outlets, Miss Dawn Kurtz, for the incredible hookup and continuously keeping our staff and our team with all the finest gear. Also, Jason Marshall at United Uniform and So Shore. We are here at Coast at Edgewater Beach Hotel. We have Mackenzie on the camera. She is the food and beverage director, which everyone knows, and she's holding the camera. She's being a doll for us. She's going to show you a little bit behind us. This is one of the best views in Naples, looking at the sunsets while you come enjoy a 3-course dinner. We're here with Chef Chris, talking about all the food on their menu. We just went through their duck and bourbon glaze.
Just say the bourbon glaze.
Just
That's
the
all
bourbon
you care
glaze
about,
dish.
man. I mean,
I'm going to continuously dunk this in there.
Right on.
All right, chef. So what's next? What else you got?
Well, let's talk. We can talk about this snapper here. The snapper's got a little bit of this is one of the dishes I'm more excited about. It's got a little bit more of an Asian twist on it. What we did was we got our local Gulf snapper. Okay, just pan searing it, a little bit of salt and pepper, nothing crazy. We're serving it with forbidden rice that we've glazed in honey and wasabi. So you got the sweet, but you got the heat in there. So noisy.
Dropping stuff. Sorry.
It's who I am. Clumsy.
Right on. And then we serve.
Say that one more time.
All right, so Gulf snapper, right? Crispy seared. A little bit. We've got the Chinese forbidden rice.
Chinese forbidden rice.
Chinese forbidden rice. Forbidden because it was a black rice that they only served to the emperor. So it was forbidden for the peasants to eat that rice. It was preserved specifically for the emperor. That's why it's called forbidden. And we've glazed it with honey and wasabi. And
so good.
And covered it. We've blistered some shishito peppers. Shishito peppers right now are very hip, very trendy.
Yep.
And the thing I love about shishito peppers is you can eat one and it's sweet, and then you eat the next one and it's fire. It's really good. Like, you don't know what's coming. So what we've done is tossed in a little bit of olive oil, salt, pepper, and then just flash cooked them real quick in the oven, high temp, so they blister a little bit.
Oh yeah.
And so it's like a roasted pepper right on the plate, but you kind of it's got sort of like this sweetness to it. Yeah, those are killer, man.
You want me to just eat that like that?
I would say you should eat it just like that.
Open up. Open mine.
All right.
Do it. Come on, do
Do I
it.
eat the whole thing? No.
Do it.
Just
No,
like,
well, everything but the stem, baby.
Mom and I raised no quicker.
Yep.
my mom's probably watching this.
And so you're eating that, and it's got that nuoc cham on it. Now, nuoc cham is a Vietnamese sauce. It's got a little sweet. It's got some
so
fishiness
good.
to it, right? And a little bit of
that's
heat
so
to
good.
it.
Here, you should have one, chef.
Oh,
Take one.
let me get after it then.
Oh man,
Get that in the nuoc cham.
I like that.
Right?
I like that with
Right?
that fish.
Yep.
Oh my gosh. What was that sauce again here at the bottom?
It's called nuoc cham.
Nuoc cham.
Yeah, it's a very thin but super flavorful sauce. It's got lime juice, fish sauce.
Definitely taste the fish sauce.
Yeah, the fish sauce
Half
is
Filipino. You know what I'm saying? We love
right
our
on,
fish sauce.
no doubt. Yeah, that's cool. And so we've got the fish sauce in there. We've got the lime juice in there, so you got that sour. There's a couple tablespoons of just plain white sugar in there just to sweeten it up. And then jalapenos, very thinly sliced,
Yep.
and shallots to give it a little bit of depth, a little bit of oniony.
Awesome.
And just splash that on there, man, and it's killer. It's just sweet and sour, and it's got that umami flavor in there. So I'm really excited about that dish.
I see your dishes are very bright. They have a lot of very seafood-oriented, light Florida style. If someone's never been to Coast Restaurant and the first time was here during Restaurant Week, how would you describe your food?
I would describe it as Florida.
As
I mean,
Florida.
I think of what we do here as Florida cuisine. If you come to a place like Coast, if you come to the Edgewater Beach Hotel, you're going to get the best of Florida. I mean, if they got great steaks in the Midwest, but you wouldn't necessarily order a fish in the Midwest. So you're coming here, you want everything that Florida has to offer: fresh fish, beautiful produce,
That's true.
all these different cultures. So that's what I love. Like I said, I'm from New England. One of the first things I love
You a
about
Red Sox fan?
I am a Red Sox
And a Patriots fan?
And a Patriots fan. Although but on the level, I'm a Heat fan because I didn't get into. Yeah, I know.
I don't even
Nobody
care.
nobody
Who
cares.
cares? No one is a
Nobody
Heat
cares.
fan.
See the winners. Oh, you like all those winning
I
teams.
really liked you up until that.
Up until I
point.
said I was a Patriots and Red Sox fan. What are you, a Yankees fan?
Of course, I'm a Yankees
course
fan.
you
History, baby.
Oh,
Let's
that's
go.
cool. Yeah, what have you won in the last couple of years?
It's all right.
Nothing.
That's because we won so much in the beginning. Anyways,
I mean, do you really want to turn this into a Facebook
No,
Live about
no,
New England
no,
sports?
no.
Because I'm here for it.
No.
right.
This is about food. This is about Restaurant Week. If you've been tuning in, Restaurant Week is 9 days away. 14 days of the best food in Southwest Florida. 55 of the best restaurants putting together 3-course menus at $26 and $36. We're here with Chef Chris at Costa Edgewater Beach Hotel, going over some of the items on their menu. And if you're dining with purpose, because during Restaurant Week, $1 from every meal sold goes to our Sizzle Southwest Florida Food and Beverage Scholarship. All right, chef. We're done talking Boston, New York.
Right on.
We're done talking some other food. What's the next dish?
The next dish that I want to talk about is, let's talk about the quinoa cakes.
Okay, quinoa cakes.
Quinoa cakes is one of our Blue Zone items.
Oh, yeah. Tell us about Blue Zone.
So Blue Zone
We love those guys.
Yeah, Blue Zone is a program that we have here in Naples. It's an initiative that we have here at the hotel where we're trying to help people live better, live well. And so...
I'm eating. You talk, I'll eat.
While you have duck breast in your mouth, I'm here expounding the virtues of quinoa. So what we've done is we've noticed that there's a lot of areas in the world where people are living to 100 and they're living well and they're thriving. And so what we've tried to do is replicate their diet with some of our menu items, whole grains and vegetarian, more vegetables than meat mindset. So what we have here
is that the key to 100?
That's not the only key.
I'm probably going to not make it then.
There's a whole... I mean, I feel the same way.
Yeah,
I'll die with a steak in my mouth, and I'm okay with that.
I mean, you know, have you seen my mother cook? Oh, my God.
Right? Like, Mom's cooking. Like, I'll take a couple years off the back end of my life, you know, for Mom's... For Mom's
cooking.
Chinese pie,
for sure.
If I
told my Filipino mother that I couldn't eat, you know, some of their chicken adobo, it would never work.
Yeah, I mean...
But you do have it for the people that can.
That's it. And so what we got here is we have... it's quinoa, which is a grain, a Peruvian grain that we cook. We mix with riced cauliflower and a sheep and goat's cheese.
Oh, wow.
And we sear it so that it gets crispy on the outside, but inside it's still kind of soft. It's salty, it's tangy, it's got great texture.
But I love quinoa.
Right on. So
I really do like
this
quinoa.
Is right up your alley. We serve it with a little bit more of that goat cheese, the sheep and goat cheese, a little grilled lemon so that you get some of that tartness on there, and then
That's good.
grilled green onions. It's light, but it's filling. It's got great clean flavors.
Very clean.
Super healthy for you. And I think it's very visually appealing on the plate.
That's awesome. It's very good. Very, very good. So you have that vegan vegetarian option.
Well, this isn't vegan because of the cheese.
Vegetarian.
Vegetarian
But we
because
can take the
blue
cheese
cheese.
off.
We can take the cheese off the plate, but the cheese is also in the cake.
Okay, so vegetarian
But
option.
right.
Got it.
So the thing is, yeah, if you're lacto-ovo, you won't be able to enjoy this. But if
Okay.
you're just looking for something that has no meat, like no fish, no red meat, no chicken, this is right up your alley.
But speaking of chicken,
Speaking of chicken,
we have chicken.
We have-
which you source, and I know you were talking about sourcing your chicken and where you guys get things from.
yeah,
so-
this is a Joyce Farms chicken breast, and what we do is we sear it. We season it, a little salt and pepper, sear it up, nice and crispy skinned, and serve it with a roasted garlic mashed potato, some roasted Brussels sprouts.
I really, really want to taste the Brussels sprouts.
Get after it, man. And you got some of that dipped in that IPA glaze. Now, I don't know if you're a beer guy.
Oh, I mean...
I'm a beer guy.
Okay.
I am a beer guy, and I'm proud of being a beer guy.
So
And
this is an IPA glaze. Tell me
IPA
about
glaze.
it.
So what we do
What's
is we
the
start
IPA
with
you use?
we have a local.
Oh, it's
we have a
definitely IPA
proprietary.
taste.
We have a proprietary IPA that's brewed for us by I think it's Shipyard. Shipyard brews what we call Piers End IPA. You can only get it here at the bar, by the pool here at Edgewater Beach Hotel. We use some of that. We take it, we reduce it down with some garlic, some shallots, a little bit of sweet chili sauce, some brown sugar, and a little bit of lemon juice. We let that cook all down, and then drizzle that on at the very end.
That 100% tastes like an IPA.
So it's sweet. It's got that hoppiness in there.
It is
I love
100%.
it. I love it. I'm super excited about that. About that
It's
sauce.
actually, I mean, it's kind of strong on the IPA side.
That's what we're shooting for.
Yeah.
So we got that. You got all that sweetness in the sauce. You got the chicken.
Oh, look at that.
The chicken has got a little bit of gaminess to it because it's like an heirloom chicken. I don't even know if that's actually a thing, but this isn't your standard chicken that you're going to get at Publix. This is high end, free range chicken, and so it's got a little bit more flavor to it. I think the IPA sauce I think really complements that chickeny flavor real well.
Wow.
Yeah. And then to go with the garlic and the mashed potatoes.
I almost want to eat it while watching a football game.
I mean,
that's
Toss some wings in it.
you're not wrong. Yeah.
And Mackenzie, if there's anyone making comments or asking questions, feel free to let us know. Like the page, love the page, share this video.
Pretty well.
Share the video, share it out to the crowd. We're here at Coast at Edgewater Beach Hotel talking about Restaurant Week with your IPA glaze on your
Joyce Farms Airline Chicken. Yep.
Airline chicken.
Yep.
Oh my gosh.
Yep.
Absolutely delicious. Okay. What else do we got?
The final thing I can talk about is our decadent chocolate ganache tower. Which, yeah, you're going to have to lick the sauce off one of those forks.
All right, here we go.
A little bit of painted raspberry puree, a little bit of creme chantilly, some fresh berries, and then you've got a layer of cake, a nice thick layer of chocolate ganache, chocolate mousse. And then to top it all off, you got a little gold flecks in your chocolate ganache right there.
I need to hit the gym. Right away.
Come on, man.
Oh, man.
Right? Rich.
It's so
decadent.
rich.
That's it.
It's so rich.
That's what I love about that
It's so
cake.
rich. Look how beautiful that dish is. It's so rich, and it's not.
That gold.
It's like fluff.
Yeah, right.
It's fluff.
Exactly.
It's rich and it's fluffy. That's
Nice and smooth
awesome.
on the tongue. Sweet, but not like crazy sweet. A lot of good chocolate. I mean, I love that. I think that it's not super heavy.
Yeah.
You know, and it's super rich. So I'm excited about that.
That is
as
a
well.
fantastic way
Right on.
to end it. All right, Chef Chris.
Yes, sir.
I want to thank you so much for doing this. The only thing I would say is I want you to look in the camera, hold the mic, and I want you to invite everyone to your restaurant for Restaurant Week.
So, all you Southwest Florida foodies, come on down to Coast Restaurant for Sizzle Week, Southwest Florida.
November 29th, December 12th. 14 days of 55 of the best restaurants. My name is Rafael Feliciano. We are on to the next restaurant. Come join us.